Good afternoon, race fans, and here we are again for qualifying at the Hungaroring. Who will have tuned the perfect setup for their car? We'll find out soon. And I'm here, of course, with Anthony Davidson on what has turned out to be a very pleasant day indeed. No weather to interfere, no problems on the track, so absolutely no room for error.
That's right, Crofty. It's looking good out there at the moment. Each team will have their own game plan for this session, and of course, once the cars leave the garage, they'll be under parc fermé conditions, so any last-minute adjustments need to be done right here and now. Beyond that, it's all up to the driver. Who can keep their tyres in the right temperature, who can hit their apexes. No race fuel on board these days, of course. These are the fastest cars we've had in a long, long time, and it's right here in qualifying where they're at their absolute peak. Let's get started.
Excellent lap. We're really pleased.
So qualifying is complete and we're all set for an exciting race tomorrow.
Great work out there today. How do you think it went? Are you happy with where you'll be on the grid tomorrow? You didn't practice much this weekend. Are you saving your car for the race? Appreciate your time.
Well done. Very solid results. You're looking good for the race.
We've seen some astonishing Grand Prix here over the years, haven't we? The drama of 2015 is a recent example. Jenson Button's first win on a wet track in 2006, or in 1997, Damon Hill's heartbreak in the Arrows after a late gearbox failure cost him what would have been the team's only ever victory. What a wonderful place this is to come racing today. Located 12 miles northeast of the Hungarian capital Budapest, the 14 corners of the Hungaroring are steeped in history and prestige. Overtaking has always been difficult on this technical 2.7-mile circuit, but the last few years in particular have turned up some exceptional races. Let's hope we're in for another one here today. Also here, of course, is Anthony Davidson. Let's talk about Varsandi. That was a great podium in the last race, so can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
There are never any guarantees in this business, but certainly the performance last time out would have boosted their confidence coming into this one.
Well then, after an exciting qualifying session yesterday, let's take a look at how the cars line up. Sebastian Vettel will start on pole. Fantastic qualifying from the multiple world champion. And P2 goes to Daniel Ricciardo, a strong showing from the Australian. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Varsandi, Bottas, Sergio Perez, and Raikkonen, Alonso, Hülkenberg, Leclerc, and Lewis Hamilton, Verstappen, Grosjean, Kevin Magnussen, and Ocon, Van Dorn, Sainz, Lance Stroll, and Brendan Hartley, Ericsson, and Sergei Sirotkin rounds off the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Excellent job yesterday. We qualified above expectations. We're not seeing any technical issues coming off the practice start. Watch the RPM on the full start. We don't want to bog down. Keep an eye on the lights. The start sequence will begin as soon as the grid has formed. Be ready with the clutch. That's a strong start. Well done. Okay, some information on Bottas. They're slowing down. It seems like there's some kind of problem with their car. We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the softs. Nice move. Good job. Gap to teammate behind is 12.8 seconds. In this lap, push now. Pit in this lap, and remember the speed limit. We'll be penalised if we exceed it. Keep that in mind as you approach. Brendan's in for his stop. We're trailing our teammate by 8.8 seconds. We're leading our teammate by 12.4 seconds. Caution, caution. Okay, good work, great pass. Okay, clear. Our gap behind is 2.9 seconds. Okay, the car behind has front wing damage. Front wing damage. The gap to the car behind is 7.0 seconds. The gap to the leader is 10.4 seconds. To teammate behind is 23.1 seconds. The gap behind us is 8.6 seconds. There's 5 laps of fuel remaining. Okay, the gap behind is 9.5 seconds. Our gap to first place is 12.6 seconds. There's 3 laps of fuel remaining. This is your final lap of the race. Great drive, great drive. We're really happy with that performance.
Here's our winner, pulling their Ferrari into Parc Fermé. What a fantastic race it was. So, Ant, how exactly did they set themselves apart from the pack today?
Well, I'd say it's just raw pace, plain and simple. I mean, we could sit here and talk about strategy all day, the overtaking, looking after the tyres, but at the end of it all, if you want to win, you need a package that's got the speed over everyone else, and that's exactly what they had today.
And as we can see, it's time for the podium, and as the drivers make their way out, there's a familiar red suit making its way to the top step. Fantastic win for Ferrari. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. Varsandi increases their championship lead. Moving on to the driver of the day then. Anthony Davidson, who would you go for?
I'm going to say Carlos Sainz. It was probably one of his best drives this season, and I was thoroughly impressed.
The fans really seem to enjoy that. You made it look easy. You must be happy with the result today. You're surpassing all expectations. Can anything or anyone stop you? Do you have any comments about the collisions? Would you say things between you and your rival got a bit heated today? Great! Well, that's everything.
Fantastic podium. Well done. Keep pushing like this for the rest of the season. It's time for us to renegotiate your contract. Here you can see the current deal. Once negotiations begin, the team will make you an offer. You can accept if you like, but I strongly suggest we push for better terms. We're asking for too much here. We need to make some compromises. They aren't coming round to that proposal. Let's try something else. Our proposal has been accepted. The new contract will take effect from the next race weekend.